This presentation is about the differences between the educated and the uneducated mind. An educated mind is not simply a mind that knows a lot. You can memorize the whole content of Wikipedia and still have an uneducated mind. An educated mind thinks in a particular way, and in doing so it selects and integrates high quality knowledge. Famously, Aristotle already knew a key property of the educated mind. He said, "It is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it." But how would Aristotle characterize the uneducated mind? He would probably say that it is the mark of an uneducated mind to accept or refute a thought without entertaining it. William Perry, a Harvard College educator, studied the intellectual development of his students, and he described the educated mind more precisely. He noted, "An educated mind has learned to think about even its own thoughts. It examines the way it orders his data and the assumptions it is making. It compares these with other thoughts that other people might have, and adopts whatever the scrutiny of ideas, data and opinions decides on as most reliable and productive. In doing so, the educated mind learns to think in accordance with reality, from which position he can take responsibility for his own stand, and negotiate with respect with others." So an educated mind is all about focusing on one's own thoughts, appraising one's own reasoning, comparing the results with others, and adopting the most reliable and productive. In doing so, it leads to a high compliance with reality and a deep understanding of it, and the ability to take responsibility and being authoritative, while respecting others. So let's compare the uneducated mind and the educated mind more formally. First, the educated mind. When the educated mind is confronted with information, it checks whether it is novel, complementary, or contradictory with one's own beliefs. If it also is of higher quality, it will be integrated, and when it's not, it will be rejected. This is the process of entertaining a thought. In contrast, when the uneducated mind is confronted with information, it checks whether it is comparable with one's own beliefs. If it is accepted and integrated, and when it's not, it is ignored or ridiculed. This is the basis for the disrespect of the uneducated mind. In addition, the uneducated mind is only interested in ideas that are compatible with one's own beliefs, and disinterested in pretty much everything else, while the educated mind is interested in everything that might be of higher quality. This leads to a number of telltale differences between the uneducated and the educated mind. First, the educated mind. An educated mind is always searching for value. It tries to improve its own thoughts and beliefs. It finds information valuable if it may improve one's own thoughts. In addition, real-world input is leading. It is sensitive to and interested in contradictions, and it finds well-supported contrarian positions valuable and informative. It has evidence-driven opinions and a weak in-group out-group division. It is also acutely aware of the support basis of its own beliefs, and it has therefore a reliable worldview with few random outcomes. This leads to a deep understanding of reality and knowing why and when to act. And finally, it doesn't need authoritative support to act. In contrast, the uneducated mind is always searching for similarities. It tries, basically, to protect fragile thoughts and beliefs. It finds information valuable when it is in compliance with its own thoughts, and therefore the own ideology and worldview are leading. It is insensitive to and dismissive of contradictions, and it cannot be convinced to adopt contrarian positions. This leads to politically correct opinions and disrespect of outgroups. It doesn't really know the real world support of its own beliefs, and therefore it has a less reliable worldview with many random outcomes. The understanding of reality is fairly shallow and basically focused on knowing what to do. But it needs authoritative support for when and why to act. This then leads to a key difference between the educated and the uneducated mind. The uneducated mind needs authoritative support for when and why to act, and is therefore always in search of confirmation. In contrast, an educated mind does not need authoritative support to act, because it is fully aware of the possible consequences of behavior and can therefore safely self-decide.